to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, now he's teaching hate. He's violent.
Black skin, white mask. Already know that life gets hard. And they say that we're used to the harshness. If it wasn't for the pain, I'd laugh. Truth is, we knew about light before dark. Turned music to art and taught everyone to dance. And still no chance. Freedom must be too much to ask. Bleeding from the ache in my heart. Sometimes I wish it was whites in the middle like France. No, I'm not racist, just jarred. Got hate before bush, not plants. They say we should leave it all in the past, but my brother's still dying on the end, so I can't. So if my attitude stinks, don't ask, cause a hashtag won't help you understand my stance. Fuck a melody, this is real rap if you ever see. Head hot, cause the system won't let me be. Tell me how I thrive in a place that don't cherish me. And they wonder why we all need therapy. Pre the energy, yeah, just another nigga to Penelope. And they don't get it how we bottom of the barrel and still drip sauce on the world, no recipes. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fall, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
We are oppressed, we are exploited, we are downtrodden, we are denied not only civil rights but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Forgive me if you don't understand. Sorry, I'm just misunderstood. Punished if I try to take a stand. Meanwhile, my friends dying in the hood. And you can say that we're killing ourselves, but truth is they're killing us still. How you saying Black Lives Matter, but never took a moment to help. Just a trend that you post for yourself. And yeah, it takes a toll on my health, cause I want wealth like everyone else. But it's 10 times harder for me. And they wonder why my brothers put food on a scale. Yeah, when I die I'll see heaven, that's real. Cause we already living in hell. Wish I could share all the pain I felt. Oh well, I guess I won't speak till my scars do heal. I just wanna be black with a mill. Yeah, that's for every time I had no meals. Cause my mother couldn't keep up the bills. With a handful of kids, no home, just a cell. And I don't care if conscious don't sell. Knowledge brings height to an elf. Went from sitting on thrones to a cell. Been blessed, man, it wasn't by chance we fell. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fall, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Yeah, this is real life. Kaa kimya skia. Real talk. We're coming from the ghetto. Kinondoni, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania mpaka UK. The world finest. Yeah. Pambana kijana. Life is too hard, life is too short. Shao kwa nango cha ghetto. Usikate tamaa. Jua kwamba ipo siku tutatoboa. Tutatoka. Gang for life. I am the true name.
Blessed love people, blessed love family. I see all the moderators in tonight. Actually, not all of them, because we do know where the others are. And yes, indeed, I see you guys there, well and ready and waiting. Indeed. Now, we're hoping that we're going to be able to, hoping that we are going to be able to hear a victim testimony tonight in relation to this individual. You guys might remember him from last week. How are you guys anyway, before I get into all of that? How is everybody? We're supposed to be in summer, but we're not. And I really hope that everyone's keeping their spirits up, because I'm going to be very honest with you. I, for one, am struggling very badly. I'm struggling. I need some sunshine again. It wasn't enough when I went away the other day, and I just need some sunshine, man. This place is depressing. You guys might remember this scumbag. Let's call a spade, shall we? Nathan Ashton. Oh, what a web we weave when we choose to deceive. This guy is prolific, and he's absolutely something else. I am so hoping that we're going to be able to get Sister on tonight. Problem is that we're trying out a voice changer tonight, which is imperative for her. And we're not sure if we're going to be able to get it to work. You know, the technicalities and stuff, man. Like, I need a technical person, guys. I need somebody who understands the tech, because I'm telling you one thing, I bloody well don't. I don't understand the tech one little bit. I really don't understand the tech. Just see and know. But guys, it's a serious time, man. It's a serious time in terms of the scale of violence against women and girls. And for the first time this week, you might have seen on Instagram and Facebook, because I don't post on Facebook. People really need to understand that. I don't even know how to use it properly, you know. I'm really not very good at Facebook. But everything I post on Instagram, there's a setting that makes it go straight to Facebook, and that's what I've done. So I only post on Instagram and occasionally on YouTube. That's what I do. The trolls are out again. So I say that to say this. If you guys have not seen it on my Instagram page, then I did not post it. I did not do it. I did not post it. The trolls are out again. And this time it's this guy, G Vibes. Look at this one. And because we made much of it, they've started to spell my name right now, haven't they? But that rose thing, I've never even used that as an emblem, to be honest. It's not my favorite flower. But yeah, this is what the latest one is, G Vibes. I actually don't know that guy. I don't know a lot of these people. Who is G Vibes? I'm guessing it's a reggae artist. There's a little mole in the reggae fraternity that is doing this, or somebody that has something against them, because it's always these reggae artists that are coming out. John McLean, this one, that one. We saw Black Steel, though, you know, there was a little tarnish there somewhere. But at the end of the day, what's it all about? And putting my name to it, I do not appreciate that. We haven't had any women come forward and say anything about this G Vibes individual. And if we did, you would see him on the Instagram page. I cannot press it enough. If it's not on the Instagram page, that face, I didn't do it. Doesn't matter how much my name is on it, I did not do it. And they're too wicked and lie. You know, they got too much free time. Thank you, love, peace, and unity. Thank you. You know. Yes, indeed. You know, there's been crazy summizations that love, peace, and unity is actually my daughter Blue. I beg you, leave my pitney them out of this. What is wrong with you people? They don't have anything to do with this channel or any of my works. They got their own lives, very enriched lives, I might add. They're doing their thing. They are grown adults. They are not a part of this. You think my daughter's got time to sit down? With herself has got time to sit down on a Friday night and get involved in mummy's stuff? No, she doesn't. She's a young girl. She's 24 years old, and she doesn't have time for that. You know, she has a life with lots of people in it. So I beg you to please stop calling up my children's name. It's really not fair. It is not the one. I think one of my daughters came on here once, and that was because she wanted to defend me. But apart from that, they don't watch it too tough. Sometimes they're drawn to it. Somebody might send it to them, and they might have a look. You know, they've always told me that they're too long, because you know what young people are like. They're not sitting through 2-3 hours. But yeah, that young girl don't have time to sit down with us on a Friday night with the aunties. Like, she really doesn't. So I beg people to please stop bring my children into it. It's really not the one. It's really not the one. You've never seen me do that, as much as it's been leveled at me that I do. Anyway, that aside, guys, there's a couple of people that's been sticking in my claw all week. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen this guy, Carl Cooper. Have you seen this guy? This guy. Some people are saying that he looks like Dave Courtney, you know, that gangster fella that was really into black women. This guy's been into black women as well. But this guy here, I mean, what is that? I mean, where do we start? That's a pub bouncer, come gangster, come nasty piece of work. But I'm going to look into him. He needs to go up on the page. He's been harming up the sisters in a very big way. And he's actually on trial this week. He looks a lot like Dave Courtney, but he's not. His name is Carl Cooper. I'm going to take you through an article. You guys can read it more fully in your own time as well. But just give me a moment to share, guys. Yeah, so this guy here, he's called Carl Cooper, and he was a handyman. He's murdered 2 of his girlfriends, these 2 beautiful sisters here. This sister here looks so familiar on the left. I'm getting a little bit spooked out with that. He's the double of Carl, what's his name, Courtney, isn't he? Unbelievable. But yeah, this guy here, Fiona Holm is on the left, and Naomi Hunt, both had a relationship. I've actually made a mistake there, guys. I've put up Dave Courtney. Let me take Dave Courtney down. He's dead anyway. And he wasn't a very nice guy either, was he? But let me just not do that picture. Where's Carl Cooper? Let me try and find him. Honestly. I'd compared the pictures, actually, and they do look very much alike. So it's an easy mistake. A very easy mistake. Very, very easy mistake. But in any event, Carl Courtney, who I'll show you in a moment when I get the picture of him. Not Carl Courtney. I'm getting mixed up. It's too many C's going on here. Carl Cooper. Carl Cooper is the individual, a handyman accused, because he's on trial at the moment. Oh, right. Okay. I see what's happened here. Right, I'm not going to be able to get a picture of this guy. Unbelievable. Anyway, like I said, that was Dave Courtney, and it wasn't him that did these murders. Let me just put that out there before, I don't know, his family or something, because Dave Courtney has passed on. I think he killed himself or something. Yes, right, it happens, exactly. Me a human being. Me a human being. We don't know why he's why we can't find a picture of him at the moment, but I was sent that picture as a comparison. Yeah, I was sent it as a comparison. But as I said, he's a handyman accused of killing 2 girlfriends more than a year apart. He was a callous bully who was prone to violence when challenged. A jury has been told Carl Hooper from Hither Green in southeast London, denies murdering Naomi Hunt, 41, and Fiona Holm, 48. The 66-year-old had been in a relationship with each woman at different times, but had previously complained to police about his violence. Woolwich Crown Court heard. So they've basically complained about this man. Yeah? They've complained about this man, and the police haven't taken it seriously. Could people stop messaging me so much, please? Because it's, yeah, I better turn the thing on silent. Actually, that would make sense. Don't stop messaging me, just let me turn the phone off. But guys, they complained about him time and time again. Yeah. The police were very much aware of this guy. You understand? We're not sure of the amount of times, but I know that there is more than once that they complained about him. The police were aware of this guy. So the women were described as in the court as vulnerable. We all know what that means. In one way or another, they were probably of a character that the police would not take seriously because they were vulnerable. Miss Hunt was found dead at her home in Woolwich, South East London in February 2022, and Miss Holm disappeared about a year after. Now, how has this been allowed to happen, guys? Yeah? How has that been allowed to happen is my question. Because the guy's been arrested. I'm not going to go through it, actually. I can't even be bothered to read all of it right now. It's actually getting me really, really upset, people. It's getting me really, really upset. Because this man, read it at your leisure, guys. You've got the link. It's on BBC. It's all over the internet. This man was allowed to be questioned by the police, to come out or be let out on bail. And at the time of the second murder, his bail had ended, which means that, hold on, it's either you stop investigating or you've given him an NFA at the point where this woman is alleging that you've stabbed her and you've done all of these different things. He's gone on to kill the both of them, is what's happened. He's now on trial for that. I'm going to try and get down to the trial, actually. And if I can't get, well, I don't think I'll be able to get a picture, definitely not in the court, but I'll definitely have in my mind what he looks like. And at some point, especially if he gets guilty, his face will come out in the paper. But apologies to Dave Courtney or anyone associated with him. Posthumous apologies, I will say, to Dave Courtney, because that was a picture put up in error. That is definitely not Carl Cooper, which I'm deleting right now. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then the other one who's sticking in my claw now is this guy. I don't know if you guys have been following the story since I put it up a week or two ago. And this guy is Andrew Amechi Ocheko. Yeah, and it's still not clear where he is. I'm getting sent lots of videos about, you know, what's happening with the cases and the other bodies that are yet to be found by this guy. If you don't know who he is, try and check out last week's live. And yeah, was it last week I mentioned him? I believe it was, or it might have been the one before. I really can't remember. It all melds into one after a while. He's currently in Belmarsh, not Andrew Amechi, but the last person, that Colin Cooper that we spoke about, is currently in Belmarsh. So I don't know if any of the Belmarsh man them are listening. I do know quite a few guys from jail listening. And if you know this brother Carl Cooper on the wing, who's up in the press at the moment, let's see what you can send me. You know, see what you can send me. There's a lot of technology in the jails these days. But in terms of Andrew Amechi, I am not sure what is going on with this guy, but there are multiple bodies. I think this guy has left the UK. He's probably been doing it in the UK, and things are getting close with him. Do you know what I mean? Because there's been all these bodies, haven't there, been found in bodies of water and weird ritual type killings. I don't know what's going on. Maybe this guy's the guy that's responsible for this, judging from what he's been doing in Nigeria. So he's clearly fled to Nigeria to carry on his practices of luring women into his company, you know, showing them the high life, because he's got quite a bit of money. He's got a nice house, nice car. He takes them out for nice meals, draws them in, only to mutilate them and murder them. And by all accounts, you know, the MO just looks like it's for money rituals or something like that. He is a serial killer. That's what I believe as well, Heaven. Yeah, I believe he's a serial killer for true. But he's a serial killer with a motive. And if he's a serial killer, he doesn't need a motive. He's just a serial killer. He's a predator. He thrives on it. But at the end of the day, I believe it's money rituals. And those guys are serial killers anyway, aren't they? By default, or by definition even, because they kill lots of people. That's what a serial killer is. Doesn't matter what your motive is, whether you're or not you're psychotic, you know, a psychotic psychopath that is steeped in paranoid delusions and all the rest of it, or if you're driven by money and greed as a gentleman. So actually, it doesn't matter what he is. He's definitely a serial killer. It is unbelievable, this guy. And it's just him. He's just the creepiest guy. You can feel his malign, malignant energy just coming through at you on the video with this smarmy little voice. You know, there's one video I saw. I'm going to try and find it and play it for you guys. But there's one video that I saw with him just, you know, he's filming this girl eating the meal and he's going, "Are you enjoying your dinner?" And all of this. And I'm thinking, but you know you're going to kill her. This is actually macabre. I don't think we've ever had that documented like that. It's awful. So let me try and find it. I'm also going to use that space to catch up with Sis and see what's happening with the technology. Don't think it's looking good. Otherwise, she would have jumped on already. But I'm really praying that she's we're able to sort of sort something out tonight. There are apps and things, aren't there? Has anyone got any suggestions for voice changes that we can sort of just download and she can use it on the device? It's deep. It's also deep. It's certainly the age of Aquarius. The first shall be the last and the last shall be the first. Indeed, my sister. You know, it is written. It is written. But let me try and find this this thing about this guy. I don't even want to call him a guy because I don't believe that he's human. I really don't. Try and find it, people. So yeah, I believe it's this one here that they're showing him. I think. Well, yeah, this is more of his crimes anyway. You guys see that? It's coming through. This is basically they're comparing the curtains in his house to the curtains that some of the bodies caught up in. So listen up.
That's it. Now this is Andrew's house. This is the curtain. This is the Andrew's type of curtain. Are you seeing it? Yeah. From the parlor. Then we are going to the room now so that you see the type of curtain that he used. So police are here from IRD office Abuja. They are doing the process this morning. Yesterday, sorry, we've been searching, and this morning we located. Something happened, you know, from dead body. They use a curtain to wrap the dead bodies. So if you get to the house, the same curtain to wrap the dead body there is what you're going to find in the house. So here now, we'll still go back to the house so that we can compare. You see that the and the one in the house at the same. So I'm here with FIBIROT, headed by DCP Sanusi Mohammed, and we came all the way from Abuja. And since last night, we have been in Aba and over Celine and Afiba's case. And I can tell you, you know, that a lot has been achieved. From this road, these places are, you know, there's no houses. This place just is a bush, and he dumped them somewhere there in the there. And yes, so witnesses here said that this body has been here over 1 month plus, and there was no head, and some part of the body were, you know, were removed. And the same curtain we found here is the same we found in his house. You can see blood on it. So yeah. This is the same curtain again. Curtain again down. Maybe making videos. You think maybe it's an office outside, yes, in the town, but this place is his house. So are you seeing it? This is just one of the room, or one of the sitting room, visitors room upstairs, converted to office. So that's it. If you watch out for another video, you see that there are computers here, computers on this table, and there are chairs. So it's like maybe you see, maybe you feel like it's outside office, maybe one of the street. No, this office is located right inside his house, and this is the black sheep group. All right, and it's on Instagram is black sheep, so that's what we're doing. Yeah. You served him quick notice. Number 14 Stillion Road, Obohi. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. All right.
He's got some other videos, guys, on this channel. I'm going to try and see if I can get to it, because there's a particular one that I want to show you about this monster. I mean, this guy's just unbelievable. He really is. Let me try and get to this guy's channel. Thank you, Harrison Guamishu, for highlighting this, because he seems to be the only one covering it in great detail. But there was a particular one, it was sent to me, and I really can't find it. This guy, man, he looks very different from the last picture. I think he's put on weight and got a bit older from the picture that I've got anyway of this man. But yeah, this was posted. Where is it? There was something where he's got a woman around the table. I think it's here, actually. Let's have a look at that one. Yes, it is this one. Look at this guy.
We are here at the Ashton Heights Hotel restaurant with this lovely chocolate princess. What is your name? Her name is Mercy. That's her name. She's come all the way from Lagos to see me. Thanks, brother. Thank you. And we're about to have nice foods. Yes, please. Just be open. Yes, please. Anyway, so we'll keep you informed as the night goes. Okay, bye. We are.
Sorry, guys, we're just going to look at this person for a while. This Andrew Amechi Ocheko. I can't even believe this guy filming the women in this way. It is absolutely macabre. This man's sick. Oh, okay. Could be this one. No, that was a different one. I'm going to show you a few because I'm just giving Sister time to try and get the electronics ready. She's really wanting that to happen. And we're going to try and give her a chance to get on. This is him again. My days. Someone's saying he's been killed. I don't know about that.
Baking is called a king prawn cream sauce. It is called, and I'm doing some vegetables with it as well. When I finish, I will send you another video, and you can see how it looks. But it's really nice.
Christ, what a dangerous man! Let me try and find the one I'm looking for, people. It was definitely from this page. I think we saw this last week, some of the injuries that he's caused people. You can see there, this woman's, the laceration on this sister's legs. This is this is not as recent. Let me have... But I love the way Nigeria is dealing with it. Their flashes, their dress, everything. You got the vigilantes out. It's crazy. And they seem to be responding to these ritual killings now that do have repercussions on this side. Remember that.
Some of them used to be my friends, but now they switch sides on me.
They're not having it, my brothers and sisters.
All pretend, even though it ain't clear to me. What's the gain in the end? Only one thing left.
Yeah, they've really mobilized over these cases in Nigeria, because the killings have been going on for a while. It's just mental. I think it could be this one. Let me try and find it. There's something that's really sinister that I want you to see this guy.
Lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to deep. But if I die before I wake up, Lord, I pray my soul you take.
That's not even him.
To sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to.
So somebody's saying he's dead. He's been killed. Now that would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at this.
Marvelous, can you remove your face mask? Okay. Thank you. Marvelous, you were at Abia State Police Command to see Andrew Ochipo.
Yes.
Now, can you confirm to me that the person you saw here today at mortuary in Benue State is Andrew Ochipo?
Yes, it is confirmed. You saw the bastard there. A very useless man.
Okay, so this person here is Andrew, right?
Yes.
Brother, the person you have seen on video, pictures, is it the same person you saw here?
Exactly.
Any difference?
No.
Even with the big head, everything.
Okay, you confirm that this man here
Rashes,
is Andrew.
everything.
Okay. All right, guys. So we are still in Benue State. All right. I'm going to show you the video of Andrew the day he was killed. The pictures and videos of Andrew the day he was killed. All right. I'm going to show you the videos and picture. Okay. Add a video of
I have to say that. I had to take that off. That was too explicit. Guys, don't you just love our motherlands? Do you not just love our motherlands? You think I'm speechless. I actually did not know that information when I'm presenting this guy. They got him. Niger man, them got him. I'm really sorry, but wow. And they got him in his car. So he was clearly had paid off the police, because the last reports that I heard is that he had been arrested by the police, but you can pay your way out in Nigeria and other places around Africa and the Caribbean. If you got the money, you ain't staying in jail. And it looks like that's what's happened, because they got him in his car, Jungle Justice. And you can thank this brother here. I couldn't show the rest of that, man. Lord God Almighty, Father God. Yeah. Harrison Gwamnishu. We've got him to thank, because the guy raised the stakes on this one. He sent it viral. Yeah, and it caught the imagination of younger Nigerians who stood up. You saw them in the street. They weren't having it. So this guy couldn't go nowhere. Yeah. Jungle Justice, literally. Huh? Yeah, man, them doing good. It looked like two good lads lamping him. You know, look, the guy's guilty of a lot. He has robbed a lot of children of their mothers, families of their daughters. Look, he's a monster. The guy's a serial killer for true. Look where the people that look at his sticky end. Not all of this pussyfooting that we have around here. Not all of that. Do you understand? Like, where is the justice really? A life for a life, man. I agree with it. I absolutely agree with it. Of course, that would never work in this paradigm. It would never work in this reality. And nobody should be encouraged to do that because it is against the law. But I'm really sorry. I agree with it. And I'm not ashamed to say I agree with it. I'm not even scratching the surface, Heaven. You're absolutely right. There's so many out there like this guy. So many out there. Let me touch base with the sister again, see how far she's got, see what's happening. Let's see how it goes. Give me 2 minutes. I was going to play some music, but I actually haven't got anything queued up. I used to have Blue's other song on here, but that isn't here. I took it off. I don't know why I did that, because it would have been useful at this time. And he's killed children too. I mean, they're the biggest, isn't that called Muti or something, when you get the body parts of the children, and that apparently has the biggest magic. This is what I've read. I don't know how true that is, but it's certainly been something that I've read a lot of times. It's called Muti in South, I think in South Africa they call it Muti when it's the babies. What is going on? And you know, I could start banging on about what is going on, because what we're seeing here has happened before and certainly was around in biblical times. These practices, you know, I could get deep on it still, but let's leave that for another show. Give me a moment, people. Bear with, people, just bear with. We're just trying to prepare sister, okay? It's up to everyone that's still holding on. We're here, we're here. But don't worry, people, we're coming real soon. We're just trying to fix a technical difficulty. That I wanted you to see. Look, take a look at this guy from Croydon.
An indecent video of a child on a work WhatsApp group. Despite quickly trying to delete it, his colleague soon called the police and informed their manager. His phone was taken by the police. On further analysis, further images of extreme pornographic nature were found. He pled guilty to making pornographic videos of children and extreme pornography. He also pled guilty to 2 counts of distributing child abuse imagery. Sadly, the victims have never been identified. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison and put on the sexual harm protection register for a further 10 years.
Bloody hell. I don't know what's wrong with these people. And this is just in Croydon. Just coming out the woodwork. This really is the year for it, you know, people. It really, really is. Like I said, bear with, people, bear with. Yes, thank you for holding on. Thank you for holding on, people. Many people didn't hold on, actually. I just saw everything plummet, but it doesn't matter because we've got a very brave sister coming on right now. You know, she didn't want to use her voice for good reasons, for obvious reasons. And because the technology is not, it just isn't hooking up to her technology right now. It's just not happening. This is the first time we've tried this, and it's not happening. And I've given the sister the choice. I said I'll end the live now because I've got nothing else to present, and it is not a big deal for us. It is what it is. And she's insisted that she's going to brave it, and she's going to come on, and it's going to be her voice. So I just want you lot to put up the biggest "His Time Is Up" love and respect to Sister Hayley. Is going to come and tell us her story about this nasty piece of work, Nathan Ashton. Blessed love, my sister.
Hey.
Blessed love, sis. It's okay. It's okay.
Can you hear me?
Put up some hearts and diamonds and whatever it is you got, people, because it is not an easy feat, let me tell you. It is really not an easy feat. And sister, as I said, she's coming out here, stepping out bare. And we all know how hard that is, you know? So just give her a big hands up, man. Give her a big hands up. When I put the link out, I really want some sisters to come on and give her some support and just hold her at the end of the day. Bless up, my sis. Thank you so much for coming on.
That's good.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but do you know what? You do actually sound a bit distorted to how I know your voice, so it's actually not bad.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you sound slightly distorted, so that's good.
Or maybe something worked.
Something worked then. Yeah, something worked
at least.
So, sis, you know, tell us about your interaction with this individual. I'm going to flash his face one more time.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you that have just joined.
So, you know, I don't even know where to start. This is, if you ask me questions, my head's gone all over. You know,
we know that he was convicted last week at Reading Crown Court on 2 counts of date rape. If that's the word. In fact, date rape sounds too glamorous. He drugged women and raped them.
See, they never find any drugs in our system, but you know, I know me, and I touched the I touched the card and I remember nothing. You know, he's the one that said that he had intercourse with 2 of us. We weren't aware of it. Just the one that woke up knows about it. But I mean, yeah, he was on weekend release. I didn't know him. I just got picked up. It was only a 2-hour out. I can drink. There's nothing that could make me cut out the way I did. Do you know?
You just had like 2 drinks when you met him.
Yeah, well, we had a drink in his car, which he made us drink before he like quickened us to drink it before we left. You know, and then that's where the end went wrong. You know, I mean, he's very well articulated. He's obviously a professional. He's got obviously I never knew him. The other 2 girls were friends with him for 20 years. You know, he's a professional. That's all I can say. I've never been through anything like this and had to go to court and watch someone barefaced lie like that. You know, it's amazing. I studied him the whole 1.5 years that this happened. I found the 2 12-year-old girls, which I've read the story. You know, from my account of what's happened to me, it sounds like these 2 12-year-old girls didn't actually, they're not aware of alcohol and stuff, you know, so they wouldn't have known that they'd been drugged, but their stories didn't match, so he got acquitted, you know.
So this was that the first time that he was brought to justice, was the 12-year-old girl?
The 12-year-old girls is something that happened in 2010, and this is obviously it's something I had to read about because I didn't know him, but just reading the story for yourself, I'm sure that buck for you, but as I said, I haven't spoken to anybody, so I've only read what's public evidence. But he met 2 12-year-old girls, took them back to the house and made them play drinking games back and forth to his room. One of the girls basically said in her school, she was waiting for HPV vaccination, and she asked the teacher if she was pregnant, would she still be allowed to take it? And they was like, 12 years old, why would you be pregnant? You know, and then it went from there on. So obviously they couldn't have done any of the tests and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, it's but then obviously through this year and a half, I've heard so many stories about this guy, you know, but it's only until I got to actual court I saw him play in action. You know, it's yeah.
So you're learning all of this in retrospect at this time. You know,
I feel like I'm
after the fact. Yeah.
You know, I feel I'm obviously a participant, a victim, but it's just been like I'm in the observer seat. It took my soul. I've had to fight for it back, to be honest. That's the only way I can put it. You know, I've fucking, yeah.
So he's been acquitted on 2 occasions, is it?
So he was acquitted for these girls in 2010. We went through the court with 3 of us. He wiped 2 of us out with all the bullshit. So the 2 of us got not guilty last year. Then he went on, we got a retrial for the one that woke up because she's got a story, you know. And then she woke up, he was doing it. There's not anything you can come out of that, you know. Right. So they done a retrial.
She's able to identify, you know.
Yeah, you know. So she got a retrial, and then they pulled up a case from 2015 that had been the CPS dropped. Bam, same stuff, exactly the same stuff. He's just so they both got not guilty in February, just gone. Mm-hmm. You know? So now, yeah, we're just waiting until the 16th of July for his sentencing at Reading Court.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And really, for me, this is about the failings of the police, because he committed these crimes on home leave, didn't he?
Well, this is it. So I'm campaigning against the government or the Ministry of Justice, whoever it is, you know, a probation service, because even the fact that he was allowed out and he had a pending case, you know, this is a disgusting thing anyway. You know.
Hold on, let me get this right, sis. He was serving a sentence, wasn't he, for an armed robbery?
For an armed robbery in Reading, yeah.
And it was 15 years, not 15 months like the papers have printed.
No, they're obviously trying to cover up that he was allowed out to walk these roads and drive around and stuff.
So he's getting his own. He would have served about 7 years at that point.
So he should have been released on the 5th of May, yeah? If he hadn't done this stupidness, he would have been out on the 5th of May. Right. You know, he was obviously, I don't know, good behaviour, whatever was allowing him to be out every other weekend. But
he was getting his rottles. He was getting his rottles, wasn't he?
Well,
that's what was happening. You know, he was getting his rottles, and rather than behave himself, which is what the rottles are about, so that you can show that you're rehabilitated and that you're able to rejoin society, he's gone on a spree of drugging and violating and assaulting sexually women like yourself.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be lots more to come, because since I've spoke to him, I've spoke to 3 other people.
Most definitely.
He's prolific.
And we've been sitting in the background, kind of watching him roll out, haven't we, for quite some time?
I mean,
in terms of us.
Well, obviously, I reached out to you the week after it happened. I was a bit emotionally distraught, so I weren't coming to you quick. I was just like, rah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay there.
And that's been a hell of a journey for you to get from where I first encountered, when we first encountered each other.
Well, I mean, the tone of my voice is completely different from what it was. I've learned to tone down. Because, emotional. I was living in my emotional brain for a whole year. You know.
And that's understandable, sis. But you've really been the backbone of this whole thing, isn't it? That's really kind of brought. Well,
I feel like, you know, because he knew the other 2 girls 20 years, he actually knew them. He kind of he was grooming them, you know. He built a relationship with them, made them believe he was a certain character, you know. But I mean, when I had my encounter with him, they picked me up from my house. I didn't take to him straight away.
You were in a group, weren't you? You were in a group.
There was 2 other girls. That's who we were supposed to be going with, and he drove them here to my house and picked me up from my house. I was actually I was batch cooking. If anyone knows about rice and peas with coconut, you know, you can't leave it.
Exactly.
I was batch cooking. I left it there. The dance was only meant to be 2 hours, and I was meant to come home, put the stuff back in the fridge and stuff like that. But I ended up in this nightmare, you know. And yeah.
and he forced you to drink, all of you to drink his
Well, I
drink.
can't say he forced me, because obviously I hadn't been drinking for a couple of months because I was doing a clean up. I was that was actually supposed to be like a celebration for the year, because I hadn't been out for 2 months and I've just been gymming it and eating correctly, cleaning up my gut. So that day was just, I wasn't even supposed to be drinking. I was meant to be 1 or 2 drinks would have been enough, and that's all I needed, you know. So anything else wouldn't have been. But, I mean, because they know his family and everything else, there was a lot of, you know, I'm in an ahhing. That's what his plan was, you know. He goes for these women that are not going to speak up, but as soon as he told the police that he'd done all 3 of us, it made it serious, because it wasn't just the one, you know.
And that was on the same night. In one night, he just had you all in a group.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, sis.
Yeah. See, my problem is, you know, he's a footballer. I can see he's got a lot of playing games, you know. He's got a fat ego. I saw that in court, you know. So I still had a lot of doubt as whether he troubled me, because I'm not an idiot, you know. Like, I don't sleep around. I've been with the same guy 20 years. So for me, for someone to have had sex with me and I don't know, it was like, no.
And that is the most debilitating part of it. You know, we've had several women come on and tell us their stories, similar stories to yourself.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think gets them the most is the fact that they don't know. You know, that's what's most debilitating about the experience.
So I feel like, you know, I'm not a feeble woman. I'm going to stand there. I stood in his face in court and I told him he fucked with the wrong person, you know. But I feel like the way he was staring at me like a piece of me in front of the judge and everything. You know, I even had to ask the judge, is he allowed to do that? But he put me in, like, maybe he put me in my ego, and I was just like, I don't think, how could he have troubled me, and I don't know, sort of thing, you know. The problem is, because he said he's had consensual sex with 3 girls, they don't test the DNA. So
that's an issue.
Yeah, of course, because there was 3 of us. If his story was accountable, like, then they would be able to test the sequencing. So if he's done this to the other 2, then I don't know, I'll have DNA from whoever to tell you what kind of fucking sequence system Trump went in. But yeah, sorry.
It's fine, sis. You're allowed 1 or 2 Fs.
Yeah, sorry, but I mean, for me, if they just gave me the DNA and it said whether his DNA was in me, yes or no, my attitude would have been different in court, because then I'm just like, okay, his DNA was there and it shouldn't have been, you know. But I didn't even get given that, you know. I've literally, it's a messed up situation, because sometimes I'm telling myself maybe he didn't do it and he was just lying because he's got a big ego, and then I'll be all right, and then I'll be like, but yeah, I smelled something in my knickers, I don't know what that was, you know. So I bet it could have been whatever that job was coming out of my system, but until the justice system do their job and give me this DNA, I don't actually know, you know. It's only his work.
And yours, and that is what it is in all of these cases, whether they're drug grapes or not. You know, that's what it is. It's his word against yours.
100%.
You know, you feel it deep in your soul, and that's what you have to trust and go with, sis. Because you know yourself. You know, we've spoken, and you've said to me, you know, you knew that something was not right.
Well, obviously, I woke up and my body was going back and forth, and I jumped up, and he was the only one behind me. But at the time, I didn't. I weren't getting no back memories, so I went to sleep, woke up. Still didn't know, you know. It's just it's amazing. I don't know how to put it. It's just,
this really speaks to the failures within the judiciary, the CPS, you know, the whole shebang, the police, all of them.
Well, we went out for 2 hours.
That we speak about.
We was out for 2 hours. We came back to whatever this house, and he kept us there. Woke me up at about 10 o'clock. Now, I don't even sleep till 10 o'clock. I'm up from 5 o'clock. Even if I go sleep at 3, I'm up at 5. I can't sleep in daylight. So for me to be sleeping at 10:30 in someone else's house, I don't do it. You know, then obviously that's the 5 hours it takes for this drug to come out of the system, you know. But
Absolutely.
then like, all my people can tell you how I was. It wasn't me. I think for 3 days I was completely I don't know, zombified. I was just like in my own world. And obviously, I only found out that he'd got me the next day. So I had a whole day thinking it was just one and stuff, and then we found out the next day. So
that is so not, that is so it's not uncommon, sis. It's not uncommon
to be honest, I thought
cases.
these things only happened in America. I was ignorant. I just would have never thought, I don't really take other people's drinks either. So
their favorite drug of choice is when they want to harm women in this way is usually Rohypnol, and that's what's
I've searched
date rape drug.
So obviously I've researched all of these things to try and understand what happened. GHB, I understand that you're awake and you remember everything. Like this Rohypnol, yeah. I mean,
Rohypnol, yeah,
Rohypnol. As I said, I was on a gut clean. I do smoke weed. I've admitted that in court as well. Anything else shouldn't have been in my system because I weren't doing it.
What they like about Rohypnol is the fact that it disappears out of the system really quickly.
But if they put something else in it with it, it gives you that kind of party girl look.
Yeah.
That's what he's obviously. He had the timing so correct. He just knew exactly what he's doing. He's sitting down in his cell planning this. It just, I wasn't supposed to be there, I believe, anyway, because he didn't know me. He'd sussed these two out. And, maybe that's why one of them woke up, because there weren't enough to go through the three. It was literally, I just jumped in, and I actually got in the car and I asked if I was safe because my spirit didn't feel right. And these girls, because they trusted him, they told him, yeah, I was. So obviously he must have thought, yeah, this is another one under the belt. She's going too.
Real. Love, Peace and Unity says the doubt is like self-preservation, holding on to the hope that maybe it didn't happen. It's normal. It's
horrible
because you really don't remember. That's the worst thing, and that is the worst thing. You just don't remember, but something happened. Something is terribly out of place. No, GHB is a slight variation on Rohypnol, Heaven. It's not the same thing. GHB,
you're awake in it, and you can.
Yeah, you're kind of in a dream state, but you are kind of more conscious.
Yeah.
Rohypnol will just wipe you straight out. You haven't got a clue what's going on.
When I jumped off, I ran straight through the door. I've never had where you're walking, you remember walking to a door, and then you don't remember walking to the car, but you remember getting into the car. And then even when after we'd been dropped off and come back, I was caving out for every 15 minutes. It was the first thing I said when I got back to the house was, something's in my system and I ain't taking anything. But obviously we still didn't even know about ourselves, so we weren't paying any attention. And by that time I had jeans on, so I didn't even think, I weren't having back memories, so I didn't think that when he was doing that behind me that he could have possibly been doing what he suggested he was doing.
I've spoken to some other women that have reached out to me, and he seems to have a particular type, doesn't he? Either white or mixed race girls seems to be his flavour.
I think it's all part of manipulation. It's all part of manipulation. He's looking for he's just looking for some sort of weakness. I think I know I shouldn't say it, but I think we're just that God to punch him in his mouth and it wouldn't happen. She would have picked up
Sis, I was just sitting here thinking, does he really know who to frighten?
Of course.
And it does feel that way, doesn't it? Why just target them? What's that about? As a black man. But this man is a prolific.
I mean, he's getting away with it because of his background. His mum's a social worker, head of social worker. They sat in the court like he was special, calling him baby. All that after she used to.
So this is the bit that stuck in my claw, people. When Sister told me this part of the story, it stuck in my claw. How many times on this platform do we have to fire up when it comes onto the enabling women, the mothers, the wives, the grandmothers?
I'm disgusted with them. Disgusted. Yeah. It's just, it's trash. I mean, we've all got people we love. For me, I've got sons, and as I said, if I hear it once, I probably wouldn't believe it, but I'd have to check it out for myself. It wouldn't happen a second time because I cut off his shit. It's end of. I'll do that myself. I'm not even going to look no one on calls or whatever. I'll be like, I'll handle that.
Absolutely, sis. As a mother of a son myself, once Potentially.
Like, this is what
depending on
angers
the
me.
evidence.
She's obviously stood. If you look at that Buck-free paper, it says that she came out of that court and she said she's proud of him. Like,
now, this woman, let me just make it straight for everybody. This woman, this mother, she has a senior position. We believe in within
children.
social services.
Social services. Yeah, she's a social
children's services. Yeah, that's facts, right?
Yeah.
So she has she's got a very senior position within Haringey Children's Services.
Yeah.
I'm questioning how can this woman be? How can she ensure us, the public,
our safety and our children's safety, and she
not just our children's safety, but how unbiased would you be? Would you disbelieve a child who was telling you that they had been?
Well, they were children. This is the disgusting thing. I'm more worried about these two poor 12-year-old girls that are out here doubting themselves. They're going to be like 24 now, you know, and it's just disgusting. She's
Mama says he must have had a trauma-led childhood with his mom being a lesbian.
So
somebody knows what's going on. Like, okay, somebody knows what's going on then.
Well,
okay,
yeah. I mean, as I said, that you know, there's a few other things that I've heard in the thing. It sounds like he's been funny since he was 10 years old. You know, like he had an episode of that. You know, and
I mean, I'm not blaming his mum for being a lesbian in the slightest.
No, of
why
course
would
not.
I do that?
But
what I'm saying is that Mama knows what's going on. Whoever you are, Mama, DM me because you seem to know what's happening.
Something,
because we knew that. We didn't mention it, but this person has mentioned it.
Well, yeah, there's more to that.
I mean, they're kind of Mama is kind of suggesting that because she's a lesbian, he was in trauma, and I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that there's a lot more going on than her just being into women. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I definitely
that we know about
watching her in court. You know, there's something. Like, I don't know. I can't make assumptions. I've made assumptions. You know, that did someone in her family abuse him? She knows him. He's obviously been abused. You know, for him to go out and do these sort of things and the things that he's been doing previously that I can't factualize, so I can't say. It sounds like something's happened to him. You don't be like that. You know, I don't know if it's schizophrenia.
And his brother, we showed his brother last week. Actually, his brother
really?
his brother is
director of
his brother
is Ashton.
Curtis Ashton, director of Young Islington Council. So we showed him last week, and you know they seem to be people that enjoy senior positions. Yeah, I mean, and this is what I mean, and even he, you know, he was on his way to what could have been a successful football career. So there's clearly high aspirations with these people, but this guy is a deviant, and his mother's in denial, and I shudder at the thought that she would be leading up any type of safeguarding team within Haringey Social Services.
Well,
no wonder they've got such a bad reputation.
She called one of the victims and actually offered compensation to drop it. That's how bad she is.
Hold on. Whoa, sis, can you please repeat that?
She called her up a week before this last court case and asked her, like he called her as well. He called her from prison, one of the victims, 3 times, you know, and the police never stopped it, even though we called them, told them not to allow it. He even wrote her a letter in a psychotic way, you know, and the mum called up to offer compensation and asked him to.
Him to not compensate. Is that what they called it? Compensation? No, we call that hush money.
Yeah, hush money. It's that. You know,
exactly. They tried to nobble the witnesses.
So this is the scary thing because there's 3 of us. We had each other. You know, these other girls that I've heard, even the one that was called in 2015, they was on their own. You know, and they feel like they're not going to be believed and stuff. Especially this guy is looking for party girls. That I don't know what they do, but he's definitely looking for them so they might not be sure, they might not be sure if whatever, but it's
unbelievable. And this isn't alleged. What makes me laugh is that the first time we put him up, the amount of people, as usual, that was screaming on the page, he was in prison, he couldn't have done this, he's not guilty, he's not whatever. Now we've got the conviction. And they always say to us, "Oh, you don't have convictions." Well, we've had quite a few,
Well,
including
even
this one.
this, you know,
And now we can't hear from these people because this is what it is. It's not just the judiciary; it's also the fact that the community carouse around the perpetrator and does nothing but victim blame. That is not helping matters. So on one side, we've got the community that are doing this and blowing at the victims, and on the other side, there is no recourse to justice. So what is a woman supposed to do?
it's not fair as well, you know, because you know, if they get guilty, they're allowed to pursue an appeal and stuff like that. But for us, like, I've been thrown away from the justice system. I mean, obviously, we look at it that this guilty that we got for 2 of them is for all of us, you know. We've kept him there so he can't do it to anyone else, you know. But obviously, yeah, it's still the fact that if you get not guilty, these guys can walk around and do this. I mean, the justice system should be pulling up these old cases, but he was in court, allowed to speak to the jury like he's doing all of these things on the street, and you know, he's got this girlfriend here, and he's always able to get free girls, but he's actually in prison. Like, and they can't state that because it's not what he's been convicted for.
Yeah. The jury will not know his previous
nothing. You know,
they won't even know that he's attending from prison. They give him a suit.
No, yeah, it's exactly
whatever, and off he goes into the dock. It's unbelievable, this system. It really, really is.
But you know, because even that, obviously, he held a gun to a man and told him he was going to blow off his head. You know, so this is violence. It should all be part of it. You know, like one of the girls, he's aggressively raped. You know, and I've heard of him doing it to another one. You know, like, he seems like he aggressively rapes single women, and he will rape. Whatever.
Yeah, and he goes for mixed race girls or white girls who have mixed race children. Wow.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of girls around. Like, all of his victims seem to have 2 daughters, and he was really grooming one of the daughters.
Right.
You know,
and they're mixed race daughters, the white ones, right? The white ladies.
No, the mixed race girls got mixed. All of them got mixed race children.
All of them have got mixed race children. Yes, either they're mixed race or they're white. But as long as when they're white, they've got mixed race children. In he goes. He is a nasty piece of work, and I'm appealing to his mother. You know, yes, it's your belly pain, sister.
I don't know.
But you cannot shield this boy.
You see how straight
you've been shielding him for longer than now. You know what this is? This is what I call mother damage, sister. It's when they never allow that boy Pitney to take responsibility for his wrongs. That kind of mother.
You know, there's got to be some sort of abuse that she knows of, and you know, one of them families that hide stuff, and let's not talk about it.
Well, we definitely sniff some of that.
Otherwise,
where did he get these predilections from? You know, what's all that about? What's all the need to take back his power? Where is that all coming from?
Yeah. That.
In this way and do it on women. What's all that about? She's definitely concealing something, in my opinion.
You've got to be, you know, because especially in her professional capacity, for her to be standing down there every day. I mean, she was there last year at our court case. You know, even at the end of this court case, when he did get guilty, she stood and shouted at the judge, "You've got it wrong." You know,
even at this last one, just a few weeks ago, she shouted out at the verdict.
"You've got it wrong." You know, like, how can you get it wrong? We already know that the police know of 6, including the 2 girls, the one there, the one before. He's had women flipping, what do you call it when they just stay away from me, sort of thing, one of them police things.
A restraining order.
Restraining orders, you know, all through his history. You know, if you go on his Twitter and you start searching through there, you can even find girls that it looks like he's done that to and they don't know. No,
well, they wouldn't know some of them. Do you know what I mean? They just probably thought, well, you know what?
I woke up with a backache, a headache, and you know, and things hurting. You know,
wow.
And dizzy for 3 days. You know, like not walking straight. Some other people having to tell you to go left or right, just not there.
And you experienced all of those things, didn't you, sis?
Yeah.
What was the journey, sis? How did you cope? How did you bring yourself back to normality after that?
Honestly, if I didn't have my children, I would have thrown myself I wanted to throw myself in front of a train with his name on it, especially after that fucking not guilty, because like I never knew him. Like the stuff he said in court, like because all my people were there, he said in court that But I had the public gallery full of my people, and he said the judge asked him, "So you had consent from all of them?" And he's like, "Yeah, especially me." Like, how can you have especially out of 3 of them? He was so arrogant. I don't understand how he got not guilty. That I really don't. So yeah, I mean, for 3 weeks, I just cried from 5 till 5, and I woke up after that, and I could talk to people normally. And then I was just,
Well, he was arrogant to the judge in your case.
He was really arrogant.
But we've got news from the wings, and apparently he's crying like a baby.
Yeah, well, yeah, one of the other, the girl that stayed there, because I've got no behaviour. I told the mum what I thought about her in the call, and the brother, like how disgusting they were and what I thought. So,
because there was one of the girls, there was a girl that was supporting him, wasn't there, as his partner, right?
Yeah. She came there to think she was going to stare somebody out, but it weren't me. I don't know. I just repeated, like, don't save your daughters if you want to be here. That's fine, if this is the kind of guy. But I don't know. He's got a hold over people. It's the way he speaks. He articulates everything. Even the fact that they're allowed to have everything, all the paperwork, everything you say. And he's sat in that prison cell and he's gone through every single detail. And he's pointed out the void and tried to use the void against it, And it's just like, yeah, he's obviously learned how to manipulate people. Obviously, with his football career, you can stick him on a mic and he chats as much crap as he comes out, And it sounds believable.
He sounds like a very dangerous sociopath. That's what he sounds like.
That is a sociopath. That's 100%. I've never, I mean, I've done psychology in uni, and I've never seen that. That was the evidence of what could actually be. If this mother really doesn't know him and know what he's doing, then I feel sorry for her.
You know what? There's a difference between not knowing, sis, and then knowing but being in denial of what you know. There's a big difference. She knows all right.
I've had a year to go through this, and that can't be denial. It's like I want to say horrible.
Well, denial can seep into absolute belief. People can become deluded to the point where they believe their delusions, sis. So that's what I would say. I say that she's just as unwell as he is. Thankfully, it's not expressed in a sexually deviant way. Well, I don't know, but she's clearly unwell, because anyone who's that deep in denial, cognitive dissonance, you're not well.
No, it's not well.
You're not stable. You're not balanced.
You shouldn't be in the position she's in. Definitely not.
If you absolutely refuse to see what is in front of your face, that is not somebody that is mentally balanced.
This one in February was the 4th case that we know about.
Right. So how many times as a mother are you going to be
hauled in a full case like that
to defend your son in the same accusations time and again, and you're still shouting out it's a mistake?
No, she's disgusting. She's disgusting.
That's disgusting. It's exactly the type of woman that we crucify on this page, because it's just got to stop.
I think, normally
in our community,
you go through something like this and you hate men, but my boys, my people, my family, they came and they supported me and showed me that men ain't like that, And I think I've more got a hate for these women. I can't stand them. These ones that enable it, they shut up and they don't say nothing. Assume, it's you women. If you think this is going on, you need to speak to somebody, because these guys are.
In many child abduction cases, it will usually be a female accomplice that lures the child to the perpetrator or the paedophile. This is what happens. It's women. It's women.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't blame women. It's just these type of women that can stand.
Let's be specific. But if we're generalising in this context that we're speaking, it's the women. I should say, it's the women.
Those type of women. They can't get away with it without them. Like, you've got the woman at home that they could have it sometimes, and he pushes her over and rapes her and goes out. Do you think he's not doing it to anyone else? If he's toughing you up and doing it when you told him no, then he's more than likely doing it outside as well. And it's
only in the last 20 to 30 years, I think, that marital rape was made illegal in this country. So it's not very long since that was made illegal in this country. It's probably about 30 odd years at most.
That's obviously a different type. I mean, that's an inkling to what these guys might be doing outside. I think you get a feeling of them. You know what they're about. Even this guy, I didn't take to him straight away. But there was meant to be an argument outside the club. I think I was arguing with him, but I can't tell you who it was. Just yeah.
You kind of your spider senses went up when you first
My spider senses went
him.
up straight away, but I was going through a breakup and I didn't trust my own intuitions. I weren't really coming out, so I asked the others, instead of trusting what I said and just getting that damn car and going back to my house. It's not like I didn't have a car outside as well. I just shouldn't have been there. But then if I wasn't, he probably would have. He gets straight onto the phone to his victims and starts blackmailing them, talking rubbish to them, finding all the things that they might have done wrong in the past and trying to use that against them to, this is what he did to one of them, And it's like, it doesn't matter what I did. I could have robbed a bank and I'm still going to go and tell them. But it's that.
Absolutely unbelievable. And we've got to break this glass ceiling that they've got over these issues. I saw a statement that was put out by, is it Brian Paddock? I can't remember his name, to be fair. The police commissioner, whatever his name is at the moment. I think I lost count of Paul Condon. But anyway, the latest Met police officer commissioner, he put out a statement, I think last week or at some point. I saw it this week anyway, and I reposted it. And, really acknowledging the stats and the numbers and the fact that the amount of women that report, there's a massive disparity between that and the amount of men that are charged and the amount of men that actually do get a conviction. Huge disparity. And he was acknowledging that for the first time that I've heard them acknowledge it.
Looking at this as well, I just went through 2 different court cases. The first case was obviously the 3 of us, and the second case was the one got the retrial and the one that was pulled from 2015. The first one was in Snaresbrook. The second one, our one was in Snaresbrook. The second one was in Reading. And the way the court is set up, like Snaresbrook, I would call it a football ground. You've got the jury on one side, the pub gallery on the other, and the judge in front. So it's his stage. If he's got his mum sitting there like a devoted wife or whatever she is, then it looks like, I feel sorry for him. And now the police tell you, don't go there, don't do this, and whatever. So it's literally the jury are just looking at this sad mum that feels sorry for him. But in Reading, it was more like a poker game. He couldn't see the public gallery. He could only see the jury, which takes the power about. I think they need to look at the architecture of the courts that they're actually doing this in, because when you take the power off of him, he turned into a baby, a crying baby. I'm fighting for my life here. We ain't.
Right. So what you're talking about, that's really interesting, sister. I don't believe that anybody's ever really looked at that, the kind of ergonomics of the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that impact on,
I
on
watched
the jury's perception of things? That's really interesting, because you're right. In most courts, he is facing the jury. They need to be able to see the whites of his eyes, right?
Yeah.
But they don't kind of allow the victim the same thing necessarily in certain courts, the way that it's set up. It's crazy.
So they get to stand there from day one to day end. You're only allowed to come up there on the witness day that you're putting your evidence. So before he even gets to go on the stage, whatever you call it, he gets to listen to everything you said, all the evidence, and then pull his stuff together at the end. That's really hard, especially when he gets to hear everything you've said and you don't get to hear what he said. He's allowed to, fill in the gaps. Look at the voids and do that. It's just like the whole way that Snaresbrook court is set up in comparison to the Reading one. It gave him nothing. He can't see who's in the public gallery. He can't see who's supporting the victim. He can't see the victim. He can't see anything. The jury can't really see either. They can just see the front line. So it's a lot harder for the jury.
So he had no supply. He had no supply to feed off, did he? Because that's what they need.
That's exactly what they need. And I think maybe if they took looks at that, they would see that. Even the idea, I would ask any of the victims, if the police tell you not to go into the court after, go anyway, because the only person the jury are looking at is this one guy, and they've got to walk out the same door. They're just looking at it that if there's nobody here, it's only him we've got to make happy. If you've got your people there right till the end, then they can see that these people are there for you. It's not just the mum and him.
Yeah, and like you said, the mother can always kind of tug on the heartstrings, especially of the female jurors.
Well, if you look at her, she's very well. very well dressed, you know, smart looking, very official looking, and she's sitting at the front with the official director's guy as well, you know. So the two of them there, if you was the jury, you'd think, no, he's come from a really good home. He could never be like that, you know. And then
all appearances.
And the victims don't come because they're even scared, or, you know, it's a lot. I think it's hard.
The police actively discourage it, don't they? The liaison officer, whoever it is, will always say to a victim, "No, only come to court on the day that you give evidence."
Because this is my problem. They want you to portray some sort of fear for the jury, so they're like, if you're scared, you know, then it doesn't make sense why you would be in the jury in the public gallery after. I mean, I didn't get a screen up. I wanted to stare at this guy. I've only met him once. I wanted to look in his eyes, you know, and that goes against you, you know. Like,
which is silly, because I really believe that there needs to be education to magistrates. Look, in my field, we train them in safeguarding, we train them in drug awareness, we train them in all sorts of things. Judges, magistrates, all of these people, you know, juries, they get a bit of training. And I really believe that what they need training in is the effects of trauma on a victim. You know, in America, you see it, they'll bring in an expert. Unfortunately, here, most of us don't have that kind of money to bring in an expert.
Definitely, they should bring in an expert, you know, because even
but that you have to pay for that privately in the British system. Yeah.
See, even this drug, if these women, so you'll have women that woke up and don't know, but they're not sure, but they know that they had one drink. Why was that a thing? Now, they don't really go into that. It's like they didn't really want to put it there because it's not there. It's not part of the case, you know. But they've got to understand. This guy's he knows that there's 6 hours. We come back to that house at 4 o'clock from the camera. We saw. So what on earth were we doing coming out of that house at 10:30? Like, none of us really needed to sleep. You know, it's just that. But they won't look into the dynamics of that and make a case on that. You know, it's just like, it wasn't proven that there was drugs, so we're just going to go forward with this. But then it's going to allow this guy to do that again.
And it's the fact for me that they never take accountability for the fact that you acquitted him the first time, you acquitted him the second time, whatever it was, and now he's back up, and you then recognize that actually we were wrong because now he's been found guilty. But then nobody picks that up after that. Nobody's held accountable for that.
Even this girl being pulled up, you know, back because of our case. So she was from 2015 and she got pulled back up because of our case.
Right,
now,
see?
Like, it's just a disgrace, you know. Like, how did he get on leave? And this poor girl, she'd gone through that. The CPS dropped it, and they didn't even tell her that he was in and out of there. They should warn her.
Wow.
How about if he came to the house and troubled her again? Do you know? It's just like there ain't any protection. You just gotta be strong.
There's no protection whatsoever, and there's no protection for people like myself either, sis. The way that the system works, be it civil or criminal process, it's just against the people that stand on the right side of the line in terms of these issues. You know, the perpetrators seem to be protected, and they seem to be able to get away with it, especially according to their, you know, pocket.
Well,
so
it's these ones that go through it more than once. Like, even that, I kind of feel like a professional now I've been through to, because I analysed them both times, you know. But this guy's been through how many, so he knows what to say. He was even coming with like vaginal excretion and shit, man. Like, this guy's been through many of these cases.
Right. So he fancies himself as an advocate or a brief.
Yeah.
They often do, like, really, you know, prolific offenders, because they go through so many cases, they end up being rather good at litigation and defence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely hire him. Hire him. He was good at court, man. I'll give him that.
Well, he's come to the end of his rope, because, you know, they get smart, don't they? And they get a little bit arrogant when they get away with it a couple of times.
Yeah, he was really arrogant. You know, even the barrister was questioning something, and the barrister started talking. He was like, "Can you let me speak?" I think that killed him there, because he let himself go. But I feel like
this was at the most recent, at the trial.
Yeah, the most recent one. Yeah, he let himself go, but I feel like that was because that was the first day he got to see the public gallery while he was on the stand, so he could see, you know, we were all there because all of us were sitting there, you know, and even that, you know, I feel like when the victim's not sitting there, he can just talk and, you know, say things that happened that never happened, you know.
Yeah.
But, because we were sitting there, he ummed and he stuttered, and you know,
it's harder to tell the lie, isn't it?
Of course, because we're sitting there, you know. But I mean, in this court case, he actually put his foot in it, and he basically said that neither of us gave consent before. But what can we do now? He said that one of us pushed off and the other one huffed and whatever, and this is not what he said in our court, you know. So he's practically said it in this court. If we can bring up the transcript and get a retrial, would be great, you know.
Well, I think that one is due, and if the CPS had anything about them, they would actually be looking to pursue it with or without you, you know. That's what should be happening. But unfortunately, we know the way the system's detailed, and we know that it is leveled against people like yourself, sis. It's absolutely
I feel like we've paved the way for the other girls now. Like, he can't do it again. He's going to be on the sex offenders register now. So my problem now is the justice system. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
You know, because I could have been safe if they'd have paid attention to the victims before me, and you know, and taken into account the stuff that he's already got on his record, then he wouldn't be able to do this to us, you know. They allowed that.
Absolutely. And you know, sis, it's we've had to kind of chunk out some of your story because you are hoping for a retrial.
Well,
it's
you know,
advisable that you don't talk about too many of the details of what happened with you, you know.
That, you know, I don't think I'd want to go through that court case again. You know, I'm just happy I'm leaving it in the thing because, you know, if we could get a retrial, then maybe if it's going to affect his time, he's going to get extra time, I probably would.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely, and keep him off the streets a bit longer, sis. You deserve it.
I don't need a guilty to know what he did, you know. He's a champ, and it's just like.
And there is some justice in the fact that it might not have been you, but he has been put away for his crimes. You know?
You know,
and I think he's going to get a big bird, quite frankly.
Well, I think he's just done 15, so and he's done this while he's on the thing. You know, he's only done half of it. If he'd have just stopped his behaviour and got away, but again, in some way, like he was grooming one of the daughters, you know. So, and he's got other female daughters around him, you know. So for me,
does he have any children, sis? Has he got any children?
No, he hasn't had time, has he?
Thank goodness.
But yeah, well, this is another reason we're glad that he's got a guilty this time, because it means that hopefully he isn't going to be able to have them, because I think, you know, burn the village.
Well, look, he's going to be in. How old is he now?
37 on January the 30th, I think it was, or he's 38.
This guy is going to be in for a very long time. I'll tell you why. He's done half of his 15 that he had for the robbery. He was given Rottles, release on temporary license, which is home leave. And that is given as a position of trust to show that, well, look, I've rehabilitated to the point where I could be let out on parole if you let me, for half of my sentence. So he's going to have to now do the full sentence of 15 years, plus
he's going to have to do the rest of the 7 plus this. Hopefully,
plus what he's going to get on top. And I'm telling you now, for the violation of the fact that you pleaded not guilty, wasted taxpayers' money, lost all your early plea credits, the judge is going to bird you hard. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a 30 or something like that. That will sort him out.
Can that happen?
Yes, absolutely, it can happen. Absolutely, it can happen. And let's not forget the fact that he's black.
Yeah. Well,
you know, we tell it like it is here, sis.
Yeah.
He's black. And
I
you've been
feel
doing
like in
this
the first case, it's like a black on black crime.
You've been doing this to mixed race and white girls. You're done. Yeah. You're done. And I believe that he will be watching from jail. I believe that.
Can they do that?
Oh yeah, I think he would. He's got a phone. They will have.
Well,
you know what I mean? He's aware of this. His mum and his brother would have told him what's going on out here with his face everywhere on the platform. He knows about it. They usually watch from jail if they're there. So, and you know, the man them on the wing watch this as well, because a lot of the people they know get called out, or they get called out themselves.
Yeah,
so
it's
something.
I've got a lot of people that love me in there too, so it's all good. It's all good. Say hi. Say hi to my little friends.
Yeah, good for him. And I hope he ends up on the numbers. And I think that he's a little weasel. He won't be able to last on the wing, so he's going to have to go on the numbers. He's going to have to go on the segregation wing with all the other nasty little people.
Yeah, well, hopefully that happens, because that's when they start talking, isn't it? I mean, because obviously I'm never going to get no truth. The only truth I'm going to ever get is from him, because none of us know. So I hope he does go there and boast about his rubbish, you know, so then at least we'll get some sort of...
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's really not the place a brother wants to be. most men that are kind of able to firm it, they will tell the prison that they don't want to go there. They'll rather take the beat up on the wing than go on the numbers. It's the worst place you can be, especially for a brother. So, you know, they don't see themselves in the same light, do they, sis? Like, they've done this with women. They're going to be sitting there with people that fiddle with children, like babies, and they don't see themselves in the same light. Well, you are in the same light. You're a sex offender. So hold that.
It is. I don't know. Watching him in court is like it must be psychotic. It's like he really believes his lies. You know, it's weird. So, but even in the letter, he's put himself in it as well, and they didn't use that either. But we got guilty for this one anyway. So it didn't make matter. But
yeah.
No,
So I'm going to put the link out. Let's see if there's any takers. If anyone wants to jump on, I put the link out halfway through. And if anybody that's watching wants to jump on and give any comment, they're allowed to do that. So we just put that up for a minute. There won't be anybody. I can see from the chats that there's no antagonists in the chat tonight.
I really don't care in my spirit. Don't care about that now.
I know that, sis. I know that. So yeah. So we'll see. Jump on if you want to come on and comment about this guy. Give the sister any words of encouragement or anything like that, and then we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, this you know what? I'm so appalled. I think I'm equally as appalled
with the system.
By the system, yeah. How this has been allowed to happen, as I am by his crimes.
It is like another rape going through the court case, like being raped by the justice system. 100%. I heard that before. All my body's lighting up.
Yeah, blessed love, Hurricane Toya.
Hey, I just wanted to show my sister here some support because, you know, I've been going nuts about it on the Instagram.
Okay. I haven't even noticed.
Yeah, because I posted
I know
this
you're always
picture.
going to blaze a fire.
Yeah, I posted this picture a few places as well because I want everyone to know, because when he comes out, he's gonna change his name. That's what I reckon he's gonna do. If he comes out. So if he stays as ugly as he is now, at least the sisters know who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he'd most probably get a whole new identity, like the Bulger lot. That's what I'm worried about.
He will be affecting our daughters and grandchildren when he gets out, but he will still be. Let's say that he gets. He's got to do the 7, and let's say the judge is liberal and gives him a little 20 or a 15 on top. Let's say it's a 15. Let's say it's liberal. He's still going to have to serve.
Is that liberal?
He will serve all of the 7 years, and then he's going to have to at least serve half of the 15 at least. Do you understand? So what we talking about?
So come out and he's what?
So he's going to serve at least 14, 15 years at least.
So when he comes out, he's in his 50s.
He'll be in his 50s, which actually he could still operate in his 50s, couldn't he?
Yeah. So we need to keep aware that this guy is about, because it's. I think there's more victims. I bet you. I bet you 50 quid. There's more victims. It's just that they haven't. I think they're all looking at each other now, saying maybe I was drugged as well. You never know.
See, these girls need to really understand that if they've stayed if they've had a drink with him and been around him, and they feel like they got more drunk than they were supposed to, and they don't remember a lot, they need to come forward. You know, it doesn't matter that it's a long time. If you've told anybody, you might not have even realised until you hear this. That's the sad thing.
And that's why it's important. That's why it's important.
And it's dangerous, because I bet you he was using the fact that he played for Charlton Athletic to get half these girls to talk to him. Because I'm not being horrible. He's no good looking brother where you just see him be like, oh, you know what I mean? So I bet he used the fact that he played football to get to a lot of these women as well.
I think maybe, like looking at this, I think maybe he was that kind of guy, like he was driving big cars.
But maybe he learned this from other footballers.
Maybe he had access to girls before, and now he hasn't. Well, I say that he did it in 2010, so no, I don't know. It's just him. I don't know.
Angor says Haringey should look carefully at his mother. You are not.
They need to. They
really need to. They really need
because
to.
She's dangerous, because she's meant to be looking out for children, but she has no discernment from what I can see.
I mean,
it's not just discernment. I just want to know how much, how unbiased she can be in terms of the cases that child protection cases that she deals with, that comes under her nose, how
and the reputation social services of Haringey have anyway.
If you can't believe these victims, hear my point. Hear my point, people. If she cannot believe the victims of her son's victims, how will she believe a child who is telling telling a social worker, which will be one of her staff, if she's that high up, that is telling a social worker or disclosing to a social worker of their own abuse? How much of an unbiased, like you said, Hurricane Toya, how much of her discernment will be subjective or objective in this case?
I think she's just in it for the money, to be honest, and the status in the community. Some people only do them jobs so they say, yes, I'm a social worker. They don't care about the youth.
You can't. I don't know what she's done with her profile, but her LinkedIn's got no picture on it. You can get her social number, her social services number, but you can't find. You can get a list of all the Haringey people, but I can't find her anywhere. But she's definitely there because there's people in the office that know she's there.
And you know that Haringey's got the worst reputation out of all the social services in London.
After
Baby P,
and Victoria Climbier.
Victoria, as I said, yeah.
I've worked.
And Baby Amina died there too, but that one was that was in the newspaper quick and then pulled.
Yep.
So as I say, something's very wrong with Haringey.
I've worked in that department at Haringey, and it is absolutely atrocious down there. But you know what? In all fairness to them, the caseloads are just insane. I mean, they're like going into the hundreds at that point. I don't know what's happening now, but even back then, it was going into the hundreds. And how do you? I know all about casework. It is very difficult to manage a caseload of even 60, much less 100 or not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that is half of the problem in the social care system. Right, that's half of the problem in the whole public sector, actually, whether it is probation, youth offending, social work, whatever, drugs and alcohol, anything where you have to do housing, the casework is insane.
It's accountability. People are going to get left out. There's loads of paperwork to do, and that's where they are more, is paperwork.
No, when I was around in social services, it was more about practice. And I remember exiting at the point where it started to change. And to be honest, each time you have a tragedy in a local authority, it is inundated with heavier legislation, more paperwork, more safeguarding. And these are good things on one level, but actually it has the counter effect, because you're so bogged down in the paperwork of them trying to put in checks and balances, you're still missing the human element and people still die. You understand? So these people can never get it right. I just don't understand them. I really don't. And they take away children that aren't supposed to be taken away. I've seen horrible examples of children being left with the most disturbing set of parents, and they're left there. And then you get a good mother, and they're taking the child away for little and nothing. So I don't understand what's going on inside social.
Literally.
And I'm talking from the inside out. I've worked in these places. I've seen it up front, and even not having to work. You don't have to work inside social services itself, because the way that we work is in multidisciplinary teams. So you will be, representing your end of things in terms of, I represent the clinical side of things, psychotherapeutic or whatever. But I will sit next to a policeman. I will sit next to a social worker. I will sit next to a probation officer, and we all sit on the same team dealing with the same cases. Do you see what I mean? So there's an issue there. There's a huge issue. The whole thing needs to be burnt down to the ground and started again.
I wanted to say one other thing, what she said about Snaresbrook Crown Court. You're right. The way it's laid out, it's too much like it's more like a cinema than a court to me.
Yeah, it's a big stage for them.
It's like if you know how to make eye contact and you know how to act, it's a good court to go to. And I wondered if he even knew people that worked there.
Well, this is
these are the
issues we have.
Originally, isn't he? He's from East London.
I think he's from that Barking Beckton.
He's in East London. He's one of our lot. Okay. Yeah.
I was told Beckton.
So he would have known
Beckton. But his mum was
definitely known Snaresbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, everyone from around there work there, and it's like a community kind of thing. So anyone that was going to
Snaresbrook
go
is a
there,
little lodge. That's what Snaresbrook is, a lodge. Even the look when you go there into Snaresbrook itself and the
I don't like
building,
going in there.
it's awful. It reminds me a little bit of the High Court in terms of the Gothic nature of it. It's all very Gothic, isn't it?
Yeah,
At Snaresbrook, yeah.
definitely.
You go in there, and
Definitely.
you can sniff the lodge and the masons within it. That's for sure.
Well,
Oh
even this,
God.
in the Snaresbrook Crown Court, he actually took his shoes off on the stand. What's that?
Oh, well, that's very
that
interesting.
That's a sign of something.
Yeah, he took his shoes
No
off.
one does that.
What is that? No.
Who did that?
He did.
Did he just slip them off when he was
I wasn't there. My people told me, but he took his shoes off. He was on the stand with no shoes on.
Oh, so he was giving the sign of something to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he was
dodgy.
making hand gestures. Even the mum in this wedding one was making some sort of hand gestures, like to someone. You know, I know there's something much bigger than I can understand yet. Maybe one day I'll understand it, but yeah, there's definitely something underlying.
So that's why he thought he could just do what he wants and walks each time.
Well, even you know, obviously when this happened, I started searching him through all the different.
Oh wow! Look, listen to this, guys. Let me share my screen a minute.
Let me jump down.
Can everyone mute up now? Stay there, Hurricane. I was going to say, stay there, Toya. That's what I was going to say. Blessed love, Royston. I see you, brother. I haven't seen you for a while. I've just seen you in the comments now. Let me share my screen for a while because it's interesting what we were just saying, sis. Have a look at this.
Must I see it?
This, guys, I just googled it while
I searched and I couldn't find anything, and you've
like
sisters
were talking. While sisters were talking, I just googled this, and it's what is the Masonic ritual with shoes? The custom of removing shoes on entering a sacred building dates to extreme antiquity. It is a token of reverence and humility. It is known as the rite of discalciation. It's known as the rite of discalciation, and in the language of symbolism signifies the place that is approached in reverence and humility is consecrated to some holy purpose. Oh, well, you know, I would have to say that the courthouse could definitely represent that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, of course.
That's really, really interesting.
That's probably why we got not guilty.
Really interesting, isn't it? And you know, we know a lot of footballers sign up at the end of the day.
So, yeah, as I was saying, you know, when this happened, I started searching for his name. I came across obviously the burglary thing, and I found I came across
loving that tune, by the way, sis.
Yeah, I came across the 12-year-old girls, but I couldn't find anything else. It's only until we got the guilty this year that now I can find the son reporting on his burglary. All of these, you know, routers, all of these big wonder routers, they all just disappeared. So you can see that there's like a screen lock for these people. You know, he had some sort of, even the mum, you can't.
They don't cover, like, it's not physically possible for them to cover every single trial. One would think that they would.
No, I mean how the information disappeared off the site. Like all of I can tell you, there was nothing other than that buck free or something. But as soon as he
reappeared,
the same day, all of these things came up, all different ways, all of how he's done it, you know. So they've got some sort of button that can shut all the information out on these people.
It's probably for the purpose of the jury, maybe.
Well, I thought that, but this was immediately like that. It had nothing had gone through. I'm an analyst. I searched and searched as soon as I got home, and I knew what it'd done, you know. And it was from then. I couldn't find anything. They couldn't have pressed the button from then. There's something.
Wow, that's interesting.
I mean, even for me, I'm a bit suspicious as well that he went to Forest Gate Police Station and handed himself in before anyone had even made any allegations and said that he's going to be accused of 3 women.
Really?
Yeah, he did that. That came up in court, you know, before
Before you guys had even reported it?
Before we reported it, he went into Forest
wow.
Gate police station and told them that he might get accused of something because he's had sex with 3 girls. You know, but again,
I wonder why he believed that on this occasion that you guys would speak out.
Well, again, this is what I've come across. You know, do you know what he did is he commandeered the whole case to Forest Gate police station. Why?
Why?
Why? Do you know? It's just like even the immediate urine test that they took from the girl that woke up went to Forest Gate police station. But, you know, and then it burned, and then all the
this is
archives
the corruption that is the Metropolitan Police. Absolutely.
Yeah,
this is the
corruption. The Forest Gate police station was on fire, you know. So what made him go to Forest Gate police station? Is there some sort of underground network there? Why would you go there? Because you made it now that the Forest Gate police station.
Hurricane Toya makes a good point there because he wanted to go to Snaresbrook. That would be interesting because that's where he would go.
Okay. Yeah,
that makes sense, doesn't it? That probably would
more
be it. There's something very reverent for him at Snaresbrook. Why he believes he needs to remove his shoes when he enters the building.
Definitely, I think that's very significant.
Well, whatever it is, and you know, it wouldn't be the first time that senior social workers are a part of that kind of club. It wouldn't be the first time. You know, that's kind of what it is. It wouldn't be the first time. It really wouldn't, and it would all make a lot of sense. So you know, you've got it wrong, and because what it is that you might be able to get off with it a couple of times, but when you start thinking that you are invincible, they wash their hands of you and they'll bird you off.
Yeah, well, this is what happened. He used the same wording in the police station as what he used us and the girl from 2015. This is what made them pull it back up. Like,
and this is what actually makes him more of a psychopath, sis. The fact that he's able to recant that word for word, that is rehearsed. That's a script.
Well, he got the CPS to drop it the first time, so he obviously assumed it was going to happen.
He's very calculated, isn't he?
Very calculated, very calculated.
I suppose you'd have to be a serial rapist, to be fair.
Well, obviously, from he got away with the 12-year-olds in 2010, he's obviously. I highly doubt that would have been the first, because who jumps to just 2? You know, he must have started somewhere on 1, you know, and then he's gone 2, and then he upgraded to the 3 of us.
They'd be like sort of 25-ish, those girls now.
Yeah, do you know, I would love for them girls to come.
I would love for them to reach out.
I've asked for them, you know, because at 12 years old, you know, if you're drinking and that happens to you, just cut out. You're not going to know that, are you? You're just going to assume that it was the alcohol. They did say in the report, you know, that if they didn't drink, then it wouldn't have happened, you know. And he just put it down as that they were drunk, you know. But yeah, like one of them.
The universe, sis. The universe, and God will do the rest for him.
We've seen
whatever happens, whichever way it flips. And his mother, I would ask her to proceed with caution. I would ask her to repent, not only of herself but also of the sins of her son. That's what I would ask her to do, because right now they're going to catch some hella karma, all of them, including the brother as well. Apparently, that's the reason we showed his face.
The brother. I mean, I didn't see him, so I'm not sure if he was in our case, you know. But to be honest, I did say some horrible things in the court, not like in the court waiting room, and I stand on them, to be honest. But he didn't like what I said, and he did take his laptop and pick it up and walk down the stairs, and I gave him a wave as he went, and he waved back. I think I made him feel really uncomfortable just explaining to him all the different cases. So, do you know, even these girls that come to the court case and stuff, I don't think that they knew the velocity of it.
Right.
He's giving them peace, and he's allowing them to come down. So I don't think a mother like that, she's obviously not told her other son, because he didn't seem like he was 100% standing like her. You know, he didn't come back the next day after I run him off the stage. So I just like, I don't know.
There might be some dissent in the camp. Well, let's appeal to him, because you know, by all accounts, he was there to support.
He was there to support, yeah. I mean,
but you know, and he's aware of the other cases as well.
I think,
but maybe he wasn't there to support. Actually, maybe the brother was there to listen and hear and make up his mind.
Yeah, maybe. Because I mean, like the mum, she listened to some graphic details. You know, the stuff that comes out of his mouth as well. He imagine if you're going into the police station and you're being accused for rape. Do you really talk in graphic detail about, you know, how you tried to enter the vagina? And you know, he's just a Trump. But the mum listened to all of that, and you know, he's just it's not something that a mum should be listening to the graphic detail about.
Absolutely not.
Stuff, you know,
and ignoring it case after case after case. This is just so disturbing. It's so disturbing. It really is. And I know that I know that you guys don't want her to be able to get away with that. Let's just let's just leave it at that for now.
As I told him, like, I'm not going to go away. I didn't get justice, so I definitely want some sort of, reprimand for everybody that's involved, and any other girls that want to stand up for him, against him. I'll stand in the court with you, 100%. He needs to know that I will never go away. If any other girls come forward with that, I'll stand with them.
We love your spirit, sister. I love your spirit. I really, really do. What advice would you give to other women that are in this position? How do you get to this point of strength? Because you are strong. You are very,
I have to
very
be.
strong.
My children, that the pain of leaving them with a suicide mum's not going to be what I want to leave them. I've got too many of them. But I would advise girls, like, please, I know it's hard, and I know there's a lot of embarrassment and shame in some places, but just speak up, because these people, if they get away with it, you're kind of enabling them to be able to do it again, If you don't speak up, like, regardless, just even if you're bleeding, get to that call, just at least, even if it's acquitted, it's still on his record, and when he comes forward, other people will see,
Yeah.
And
to be honest, sis, if there was somebody that was as strong as you at that point, then it wouldn't have happened to you. And somebody else also said in the comments that, his karma is you. That's his karma is you. He actually effed with the wrong person. And I believe it's true. I believe it's true. And there's always that person that, like you, in these situations, that has to make that one stand. His karma is you.
Like, for me, the only reason I made it really is because of the people that stood with me. I normally keep my stuff to myself and get on with it, but it was too hard. I couldn't even see my kids for 3 weeks, And if it weren't for them, I don't know, like, they were the ones phoning me, telling me, like, you can't make this dickhead break the spirit, even though I just didn't want to be here. And they held me up. They sat in court every day for me. They listened to me. They hurt with me. It hurts the whole community,
Yeah.
I mean, I've ended up isolating, maybe pushing everyone away from me, because they can see the pain in my eyes, and I don't want them to see that. It's not for them to hurt for me. Everyone's going through stuff,
And you're going through the soldier way, like so many women have to, or choose to a lot of the time, and that is without support in terms of therapy or anything like that. You're just carving it out as a true survivor, and we really salute that, sis.
We do. There is Haven that call me. They're like a therapy thing that you get. Like, you have to go to Haven and get checked out and stuff like that. They are quite good.
I know Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, they are quite good. I can't fault it. I mean, yeah.
I feel like they are there. Their resources are stretched. It's not enough, because some women need a lot more than that. They need real, proper therapy.
Yeah, there needs to be something, Even like one of the girls had to go back to her kids, and she cried and she did it, and that's going to cause them emotional pain as well. I just feel sorry for these girls that my kids was all with their dad, so I just never picked them up and didn't know what had happened, and I just died for 3 weeks, But to imagine having to, I couldn't. I mean, I went to his house one day to go and see my kids, and I was trying to be strong, and like, I sat there, and my little girl just stared right into my eyes, and she could just see the pain. It made tears come out my eyes. I just ran out of the house. So having to deal with that, there needs to be, I don't know, something that just can come in the house and help them, because I don't know what I would have had to do if I had to look after my kids in that state. I mean, I had to fix up really quickly, and you don't deal with it.
And you're lucky to have that support, and it is lucky.
Yeah, of course.
It should be the norm.
Of course, there's needs to be some sort of access, because obviously, if my children had seen this, it would have damaged them. Like, even like when I did get to them, even I haven't been as emotionally there as I should be. There's a lot of losses that's happened. You're just not there. You're not present. You're just not present.
And thankfully, sis, you've battled through that to where you are now, and you are absolutely resolute. You stand strong here today, and as you said, you're not going anywhere. I believe that you are this man's worst nightmare. Let him let him chew down on that.
Dream about me now, definitely. I won't dream about him, but he will definitely have to dream about me.
And we spoke a little bit about the actual system, which is how we started. We challenged that system because it is wrong. And all of this, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Yes, for the most part, it should be that. But these cases, I believe that we need to have a system that sees historic sexual abuse and rape cases as very separate to any other crime. It needs different criteria in terms of thresholds and how what kind of threshold we need to bring charges. It needs everything, the way it's investigated, the way that it's received, the way that it's questioned. It needs a whole
going through that, and I've been at the Attorney General, I've been at the Ministry of Justice, the probation system, and just looking, there's nothing they can do. They're pieces of crap, that it's
their hands are tied with legislators.
We have to start bringing that. We have to start bringing out our own foundations without regulating it through them, because they're not good enough. They're not good enough to regulate for us, And
that is the premise by which his time is up exists.
Yeah.
On that we stand. That right there. We don't necessarily. We're not here to observe criteria. We're here to say you've got a man who has been accused time and time again by women who are unrelated to each other. There is absolutely no smoke without fire. That's what we stand on. I don't want to hear about no judicial evidence. We are not the CPS. That's what I say to people. And what can we do but talk about it? We can't lock him up.
If you get arrested for something 3 times, then they throw the book at you. So for me, even if you're acquitted for 1 or the CPS ain't taken on 2, if it gets to 3, you need to be studying this person.
Absolutely.
And even crimes like burglary and domestic abuse and stuff like this should be held accountable within the course, because it all simulates the same thing. The guy's violent, and this aggression is where it all stems from. So it's the same sort of thing. They should be allowed to say that he's in prison for this because this is the violent person he is.
I'm trying to think in America if they're able to know their previous. I think they might be. I don't know if someone can put me right on that. I don't know if it's just here or if it varies in different countries, but I don't think it's across the board. I mean, look, we saw what happens in Nigeria. They just show everything. The jury would be well aware of what he's done in the past. And to be honest, I don't think they get a chance to really, in places like Nigeria, they don't really get a chance to do things twice. As you've seen, they'll just finish them. Wow.
This is definitely.
There's no doubt that the man in that Nigerian thing that he was guilty. So
it's not illegal.
I just have to say this is Nigeria.
There isn't
we could do with a little bit of that here. Maybe it would stem the flow. Who knows? But my sister. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I think if they started doing things like that, then they wouldn't. Making something happen to them.
Well, or would they? Because it's still rife in Nigeria, isn't it? So they won't stop. They'll risk death. And
some countries they cut off your finger for stealing. So that you try to steal my soul, it should definitely get cut off. But
how many people can you maim and kill? And then how many of them still are deviant and do the things that they do? Do you know what I mean? They'll just go underground and try to do it in secret.
Well, the MP that I wrote to, she sent me some stuff back, and they done a test on 120 men that were supposed perpetrators, and they found that their DNA matched, I think, 1,200 and something cases. So that's like 10% of the actual victims. So if there's 5,000 rape victims, it will be 500 men about, if you go off that sort of statistics. So if they just actually start, they've got guys like this, he says consent, and then they throw away the packages. There's a big massive room of these rape cases that are not being tested. If they test these cases, they probably find lots of the connections, It's just they're not doing it. And again, this is where I want to focus on, these rape rooms, these rape kit rooms that they've got. Warehouse.
And you see, that's why, testimonies like yours are so important, is because we wouldn't know that no one would know that unless they've been a victim. And had to go through those rape suites. you know what I mean? I didn't know that they didn't test the DNA if the man says it's consensual.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It would have been more helpful if he'd have just picked me up off the street, you know, and then I didn't know who it was, you know, that then I would have got justice. You know, the perpetrator's allowed to change the system just by shouting that.
Yeah, that's all it is. The system is so patriarchal. That's why they're able to get away with it.
I do think there are systems. I mean, Ministry of Justice has written back to me with an operation that they're putting forward. You know, so I do think we are going to start seeing a lot more guilties. You know,
I think it's starting to happen to some extent, but my fear is that it will be another fad. You know, when they're funding things in that season, whether it's mental health, black on black knife crime, whatever, when they're funding things in that season, it's all out there. They publicize it. They send out mouthpieces. They shovel some money into a few organizations, and then it goes away in a year or two, sis. And that's what my fear is with them.
It's just, most victims, they're so wrapped up in their own pain, they don't go for this. But I think we all just start standing up to the system and writing the appropriate people. I mean, nobody even knows that we've got an Attorney General here, but write to her.
Yeah.
Write to her because she's there.
But we need to do that en masse. And like I said, you know, you're starting that campaign. We've been doing that campaign. It's about joining forces. I feel like in this country, we've got a problem doing that. I'm not sure why we don't like alliances. I think people are just very distrusting of each other. You know, when I go to other spaces in terms of activism, people are only too happy to join up with each other if they have the same cause. Over here, everybody, it's the ego. Everybody wants to be the standout star and lead the charge. And it's just weird for me. It's counterproductive and it's weird. But my sister, we're wrapping up. We're just over 2 hours.
Of course.
I just want to salute your courage.
Yeah, sorry to everyone for making me wait.
No, that's all good. It's the way it goes, you know. We in a way it's good because it cleanses. There's people that come on to look for PASA on this channel, and they get bored with gaps like that. So it's only the true ones that stay on. Yeah, it's only the true ones that stay on. That's why the chat is quiet. You haven't got any idiots doing
nonsense. For everyone that's here as well, and I'm sorry for anyone that's gone through this. I'm with you. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Sis, I feel like you're a beacon. You're a beacon for other women that have been drug raped. I feel that you will stand in your purpose. I don't feel that you should, because I know that you are. And I feel that, you will continue to do that, and long may it continue. Sis, I would love you to come and share with us. Hopefully by October, things are a lot clearer.
Well, I'd
love you to attend. His time is up March 2024. And come and share with the rest of the sisters who come to share with us at that occasion.
Yeah, that's enough. So obviously, it's that I still need healing from that last court case. I'm just reeling.
Let's see where we are in October with it. Yeah,
I'll do that. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for your support, Afua. I know you've had a lot going on in yourself, and you've had a lot of attacks.
Thank you, sis.
But we're here. I'll stand with you as well. We're there. We'll do this. They're going soon. They've got to come off this planet, man. These type of people, definitely.
So with sisters like you around, we just need to just replicate. We need to just keep replicating and get as many hard to crack sisters like yourself.
Yeah,
you understand? Man. Because look, they can put us down, my sister.
Some of us can't be put down for too long. That's what the problem is.
That's the point. They can put us down, but they cannot keep us down. Yeah, and I think that is what it is. We are the stick in their claw. These nasty men, and you're here as a living, breathing testimony.
I think the actual pain is so hard. You don't think you're going to get through it, but trust me, as soon as you wake up without them tears, the strength that comes in, no one ain't taking that from you. It's not spirit.
Conversion.
No, I ain't really scared of anything now.
Turn that pain into energy and power. Mm-hmm. That's what
it comes. I know. I just feel sorry for everyone that's going through that, because it's the worst ever. It's like how I see it. That those moments it made me know that there's a difference between my spirit and my soul, because one of them left the building, and I had to fight for weeks to get it back. I was walking around my room like I couldn't find myself, and it's that something kicked in then. I don't know what it was, but it was, I'm going to get this guy. It's not happening.
Yep, and you did. You bagged him. In Jamaica, we got a saying: if you don't catch Quacky, you catch him shirt. And this is exactly what you did, sis. exactly what you did. You know, I don't know if you can see the comments at the moment.
No,
okay, but yeah. So Angor says, "Thank you, sis. Stay strong."
Yeah.
JAJ says, "Thank you, sis. Stay strong. You will get there." MG says, "Keep rising." Malia 876 says, "Thank you for sharing." And there's just so much love right now, my sister.
I love you all back, man. Trust me. Thank you. I feel that I must do it.
All right, sis. Bless up, sis. Undoubtedly, we will speak again.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did good.
Thank
you.
Good,
sis.
Well, as scary as I thought it was going to be.
No, exactly, my sister. Just big up yourself, sis. Honestly, put up a one, everyone. A big his time is up. One up for the sister here. Hopefully, we'll see her at his time is up March 2024.
Yeah.
Until then, my sister, you stay strong and you stay positive as you are.
Thank you. Love to.
All right, 11-11, sis.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Love.
We're kind of, aren't we?
Love. All right. Sister's wonderful. She's absolutely wonderful. What a strong. This is what we need, you know. Sisters that are able to put their head above the parapet to keep battling no matter what, taking on the CPS, not giving up. You know, I spoke to a sister this week that has got her case through, but that's because she fought them. And that's what it takes, because I've heard, you know, this quite a few times, that they will tell you, no, there's not enough evidence on the first go. But if you go back and keep appealing and appealing, eventually they get to see the picture. And those cases often end in a big conviction, and the man gets a big bird on the back of it. After the CPS has turned it down 3 or 4 times, what is that telling the system? You know, I do not understand the people, the decision makers, the people who review and audit these things, how it is that they don't see the bigger picture. I really just believe it's because they don't care. Because you should be able to see the bigger picture. An ivory tower at the top of something that you have no idea what is going on at the base of your pyramid. It's unbelievable. And women are suffering as a consequence of it. But of course, you know, they roll out their programs, they use their millions, they shovel it and funnel it in such a way that actually they benefit from it, because there are so many subsidiaries and charities and different layers of companies that they funnel this money that they say they're putting into things for, until it all just ends up rounding back to them. That is the most elementary way that I can describe it, but it is very complex what they do. This is why I don't go for their funding. I've been there, done that. I know how it works. We need to be self-starting. We need to be self-determining as a people in general, and definitely as women, as survivors in this situation, people. It's just got to stop. But yes, my people, P20, bless up, his time is up, family. And give another salute to the sister Hayley, because my goodness, what a strength, what a pillar and a tower of inspiration and strength. And I really, really hope that that this, I pray and I put it out there into the universe, that this broadcast reaches the 2 12-year-olds who are now 25-year-old girls, and that they're able to come forward and seek their justice, because they're not guilty in their cases. You know, when you really understand the fullness, and we're not saying the details here tonight because of the nature of what is going on. You know, it's very complex what's happening. This man, if they were really to do their work, the police and the CPS, I believe that he could just end up being one of the most prolific criminals of his genre, you know, in British bloody history. It is so prolific. Yeah, and with that, I've just heard baby Afua come in from her best friend's party across the road, who's turned 13 today. She had hers in October, and, you know, they grew up on this street together. And she's just come in, so I've heard her. I'm going to bless it up, people. I'm going to leave you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Give up some love again. And, you know, just keep sister in your prayers, and all the other victims that are yet to come forward, and those that are yet to get justice from this nasty piece of work, Nathan Ashton. Blessed love, people. I will see you next week. Potentially, actually, I might not do a live next week because I've got some engagements across the weekend, and we'll see how it goes anyway. But if not, then it will definitely be the week after. Guys, I will see you. Have a wonderful weekend. Whatever you do it with love and do it positively. Blessed love, my people. Blessed love.